grinder, because then it's going to make like umami, natural MSG.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For these things to
Your mommy.
yeah.
So Irene has some nice slides to show, and then
good.
Charles got some good slides to show.
Nice pen. Yeah.
Yes. Irene's taking us on a magical mystery tour.
Good, good. Irene, we're looking forward to the magical mystery tour.
Yes.
Somehow it became magical. That's good.
So right now it's what, 7 o'clock in the morning your time? Tomorrow?
Yeah, it's 6:40 now.
Yeah.
I woke up like 5:45, and my cat was, I think she was shocked. But
she was
she was like, "What the fuck are you doing so early? Couldn't you just let me sleep?"
Oh, that's funny.
Right.
Yeah. You have such nice weather there. Can't believe
Oh,
it.
truly.
I
Yeah, let me
can't
show you.
believe it.
Let me take you outside. Let me show you what the outside looks like.
Oh no. So beautiful there.
A nice little porch here.
Nice.
See all the ginger
Beautiful.
flowers down in the gulch? there?
Yeah, it's
then-
so greenish. Yeah. Nice. So what is the place that you live in? I was watching some documentaries, and there are like lots of islands there. And which one
Yes.
is yours?
Yes, we're on Maui. This is Maui.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it like close to volcanoes?
That's
Everything is close
Hawaii.
to volcanoes there, right?
Yeah, that's Hawaii. That's Hawaii Island. Hawaii Island has active volcanoes.
Yeah, but there are like zones, different zones.
Clean my kitchen.
Yes.
Put the mats down and everything. Because it's a kitchen, huh? If you make it look for the public, you have to totally buff out the floors, buff out everything, buff out the
Not here, it looks like dumpy, you don't have to feel shame.
Well, no.
So let's talk a few minutes, you guys, on what we're going to do tonight. Let me see here. Let me pause this.
So this is what we would like to do. So
Okay, so you want to stop share your screen, Charles, please? Okay, here we are. Well, aloha, everybody. And we're going to give everybody a couple minutes Hawaii time to log in here. But I want to just welcome you all that are here on time. Thank you very much for being here. We're really excited about tonight's presentation. We're Chef Marc McDowell, Charles Tresidder, and myself, along with Mark's wife, Yvonne. We're up here in a cabin up in P.E. Holo Road. And so we could all be together tonight, except for Irene Antonets. Irene, is that the correct way to pronounce your last name?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Irene's in Russia tomorrow.
Yes, and it's snowing.
And it's snowing. So Irene is in Russia. She's visiting her parents. She lives in Czechoslovakia, in Prague. And she traveled to see her parents and spend some time there. And so she graciously has agreed to do this. And we've built a really nice friendship over the past few weeks to have her come forward to do this. And we also have Charles Tresidder. You see Charles? All right, Charles, he's right across the room here from me. And Chef Marc McDowell. Mark, where you stay? Let me turn this
I'm
around.
always in the kitchen.
That's right. You're always in the kitchen.
I'm always in the kitchen with some kind of gadget.
Okay, and we got some things prepared. He's
Yeah, we're
he's
gonna
getting
be-
his temperatures
Yeah,
all
we have to have our
down,
temperatures right. but
That's
we're
right.
Celebrating the mushroom.
celebrating the mushroom. And look at you here tonight for
Yeah,
preparation.
we,
It's gonna make lumpia tonight. Look at all these beautiful mushrooms. Beefy looking mushrooms Charles Tresidder has grown. Has some lion's mane here and some oysters. And what's the black oyster called, Charles? What's that?
It's called the Black Pearl Oyster.
The black pearl oyster. Wow, beefy looking mushrooms. So what we're going to do, folks, I'm going to talk a little bit about HFUU right now. And then you can see Charles over there. This is a very interactive gathering here tonight. But what I want to do is I just want to bring folks up to speed about what's going on with HFUU. And then we're going to have Irene share with us. There's more people coming in. Okay. And get them in here. Aloha for those that just joined in. And my name is Vincent Mina. I'm president of Hawaii Farmers Union United. We're a state chapter of the National Farmers Union. We're a chartered chapter of the National Farmers Union. What's significant about that is it's the first time in 11 years that they actually chartered a state organization. So we're well respected in the National Farmers Union. I'm the chair of the Regenerative Agriculture Local Food Committee on the national level. And also I sit on the Board of Agriculture here in Hawaii. So thankfully from those platforms, I've been able to work on raising more awareness around our agricultural system here in Hawaii. One of the things we're presently working on is a soil health initiative. And that's been a really beautiful process, bringing the whole agricultural sector to the table for the past 7 months. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we're going to be at Bobby Paia's farm with Akaku filming for the cover crop we have planted there. And it's going to be rolled and crimped. And so we're going to have a demonstration on that tomorrow morning. And we're going to be featuring that in a film where for our convention of December 9th through the 12th. And that film is also going to include some footage tomorrow. We're going to be filming at Mahi Pono. Mahi Pono has graciously come forward with 200 acres and water towards the Soil Health Initiative to be able to do a demonstration. So tomorrow morning, our agronomist, Bob Schaefer, is going to come in. And after we roll and crimp this cover crop, he's going to speak to what he sees and what the value of all that is regarding soil health. And then there's going to be a backhoe trench dug next to the cover crop that we will also look into and have filmed what that soil horizon is communicating in our ability to grow a healthy crop or not. So when we go to Mahi Pono, we're going to be filming from the demonstration site that we're going to do our soil health protocols at. We're going to bring forth a proposal for those soil health protocols that we look to get funding by the private sector to be able to do that. And the reason why I'm so excited about having this being done on Mahi Pono's land is that they're excited about it, for one thing. And also it gives us a visibility and some traction around what this could represent statewide to start bringing soil health protocols forward in a way that we use them as a matter of course in our agricultural system. But right now, we don't have an agricultural system from my point of view. And the best way to build one, I feel, as a farmer, the best way to build one is to focus in on soil health. And so that's what we're doing through this initiative. And I feel very heartened and confident that we'll be able to continue to bring this forward in a methodical and substantive way. So with that said, we're continuing on our Mushroom Monday, our Hemp Tuesday, and our Soil Health Wednesday presentations this week. Tonight, we have Irene Antonets, we have Charles Tresidder, and Chef Marc McDowell here tonight to do this presentation. We're probably going to run a little over tonight, so your folks are welcome to stay. It's going to be very intriguing, very interesting night. I'm looking forward to moving all around and filming all this going on here. And then we have Tuesday night, we have a hemp panel tomorrow night. And Wednesday night, we have Drake Weinert, our East Hawaii chapter president, talking about Korean natural farming. So tomorrow night is going to be Gail Baber on hemp and economics and the rules of hemp. So these are really engaging and very substantive presentations that I hope you all come back for. We're not charging anything this year, whether for these presentations leading up to our convention or the convention itself. We're just holding capable our people that support us to donate, to please, whatever you can, please donate to our organization so we can keep the operations of our organization going forward. We're bringing in all our chapter presidents for the convention here on Maui. So that's going to be a wonderful way for us to, as leadership, come together and really bring HFUU forward in a way that best serves agriculture. So thanks everybody for being on tonight. Let's get into this, baby. Rock and roll. I want to turn it over to our extraordinaire artist, Irene Antonets from Russia. So Irene, can you
Thanks.
share your screen, please? And say
Sure,
aloha to
yes.
everybody. Can you say
Let's do
aloha
it.
to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
No, say
Hello.
aloha.
Let me see how it works. Okay. Can you
Yeah.
see everything?
Yes, we see your screen. Go ahead.
All right. So, hello, everyone. My name is Irene, and it's an honor to be here today and spread some mushroom love and appreciation, and also to exchange thoughts and experience with other mushroom lovers from the other part of the world. And just a few words about me and my background. So I'm an artist, designer, and illustrator, and a musician based in Prague, Czech Republic. And for the past 3 years, my art practice is mostly focused on mushrooms, botanical art, bioart, and microorganisms. And before I share more of what I'm doing with you, I would like to just give you an idea of where I'm coming from. So I was born and grew up in Russia. And my family was always interested in mushrooms and in foraging. And here you can see some old letters and drawings of my grandfather, who was an amateur artist and a poet. And then here, for example, on the left, you can see my grandfather, who was participating in mushroom picking competition, and he knew a great variety of mushrooms in Russia, and we still have a lots of beautiful mushroom identification books in our family library. And then on the right, it's my father and I in the forest with a bunch of mushrooms. Since I was able to walk, my parents would take me to the forest. And sometimes I didn't know yet all the words to say, but I was already identifying mushrooms and picking up mushrooms. So I would say foraging is in my blood since childhood. And when I started to learn more about mushrooms, I started to do my own research. I realized how important they are for the planet and for the humanity. And lots of my artistic inspiration comes from my microscopy research. I think that when you see fungi through the microscope, it really changes your perception and your way of looking at things and at this world. And it opens up a whole new universe for you. And it also shows how wrong it is to actually think that these tiny organisms are less important than us humans. And here you can see some micro universe that I discover. So I truly believe that mushrooms are the art themselves, and their forms, their colors, the variety of them really fascinates me. And here I would like to just share some of the examples of my artworks. All of them are focused on mushrooms, and behind each artwork there is a special story, a special unique quality of mushrooms. I also draw mushroom related organisms like slime molds, lichens, mosses. This particular artwork, for example, called Metamorphosis, was about the cycle of mushroom life. And I'm really fascinated by this idea of immortality of mushrooms. And here are more of my mushroom artworks. And this particular artwork called Mycelium Universe is inspired by the idea of symbiosis in nature and this interaction between all the living things in nature, and how in this universe everything is connected in a beautiful way and through mycelium threads underground. This is an artwork devoted to mostly to slime molds, beautiful, almost microscopic creatures. Another fun part of my art practice is growing and drawing with fungi. I call it collaboration with mushrooms. And since it takes 2 to 4 days to grow, I have to paint quite fast to catch up with the mushrooms. And it's really a fascinating and a breathtaking process. Here you can see some of the stages, how it looks, and I love it. Another ongoing project of mine called Myco Stories. So I am lucky to be surrounded by a big community of mushroom lovers. And so I had this idea of creating these illustrations based on the stories I've been collecting from all over the world from mushroom lovers. And here are some of my final paintings. On the left is a painting inspired by a story of a man who all of a sudden falls in love with mushrooms after seeing just one chicken of the woods mushroom in the forest. And by now, he has his own mushroom farm. Then in the middle is a story of someone who healed cancer using turkey tail mushroom. On the right, you have psychedelic stories from many, many people who fight anxiety with the help of mushrooms, who fight depression and change their lives. I also create lots of art, mushroom art for mushroom businesses like mushroom farms, for example. This is one of my favorite projects that I've done for one lovely farm in New York, and you can see how they're using it in practice on the right. And then this is one of my recent projects also for another wonderful mushroom business called Forgotten Kingdom Fungi. It was amazing to work on this. So one of the most exciting projects I've worked on, and one of the most recent projects, was this collaboration with Czech Mycological Society. So I created special mushroom illustrations for their merchandise. And also I exhibited all my mushroom artworks there. And I will just share a quick video of behind the scenes, how I was creating these illustrations and researching Czech favorite mushrooms. And then we had this mushroom exhibition, and I was a part of it with my little art stand and having all my mushrooms there. and it was such a heaven for a mushroom artist. I also had a performance where I had my mushroom animations on the background. So I will share a little bit more about these animations that I create. There are just a few more photos. And yeah, so I have a special format of concerts that where I am performing, and at the same time I have a screen on the background showing mushrooms moving, and for me it's another way of showing love and appreciation for mushrooms. And this is just an example of the animation that I do. Like this particular animation is inspired by Pasitio mycota fungi, and they're a beautiful variety. And here I'm gonna just quickly show how it looks when I am performing. So this is a screen behind me, and normally I sing my own music, perform my own music, and have mushrooms moving around. And then people reach me and ask questions. What was this? What are these strange things on the background? And then I tell them all my mushroom story. Yeah, and it's quite amazing. All right, so hopefully based on the examples of my artworks, you could see how mushrooms are beautiful and how many cool projects can emerge from just this one fungi topic, and how they can inspire, connect, unite people, how they can change lives. I think that art, mushroom art, evokes this special connection on an emotional level that dry and sometimes boring science can't always do. So through my mushroom art, I am as an artist trying to demonstrate their power. And my hope is to make people really aware of how fascinating these organisms are, and make people see and feel this spirit in nature. I want people to realize that this beautiful food they are eating, they're maybe growing or buying, that these mushrooms that are on my canvases, and they are just fascinating in so many ways. And I also think that mushroom art plays this very important educational role, since I show the organisms that are really tiny and sometimes a few millimeters high on the big canvas. When you see their importance and you realize how wonderful they are, then it helps you to appreciate and respect the nature more, the nature in general. And it helps you to remember that connection that is sometimes lost in our time, the connection to nature, to our roots. It helps to remember that we are indeed nature. So when we are harming nature, we are basically causing harm to ourselves. Why kill ourselves? We really need to take care of our planet. We need to nourish it. We need to learn about it as much as we can, and we really need to give back. So I guess this is my way to give back. And we need to finally start looking at fungi as our older and wise teachers. And we should really start learn from their ways of being and existing.
Beautiful.
And yeah, that's it. That was my story. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. If you want to find me on social media, you have all the contacts here. Check out my art shop, my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer.
Well, Irene, thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. And, when I first thought about bringing you in and, to have a conversation with the artwork the production and the cooking of it, it just felt right. And I'm so glad that we went down this path, because it does feel very right. You're an
Thank
amazing
you.
artist. You're an amazing artist, a really special human being. And in your ripe old age of 28, there's many more years of leading this movement forward from your artwork and your musical approach. So thank you so much. And we'll have time after Charles presents and Mark presents in the cooking. We'll have time to kind of have the three of you talk story and answer questions from people. So thank you very much. We'll next go to Charles. And by the way, everybody, Irene is up at 7 in the morning there in Russia. So thank you, Irene, for making that a point to be up.
It
And
was an honor.
all right on you. Appreciate your smile. All right, Charles. Aloha, my brother. How you doing? So you're muted right now.
Hey, everybody. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just muted mine.
All right. Vincent, could you just turn off the sound on yours? There we go. That's a lot better. Can everybody hear me? Good? Great. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I grow mushrooms and show you a little bit on how you can grow mushrooms at home. So right here, this is a mono tub. It's basically a plastic tub that has air holes drilled inside of it. And inside of this mono tub, I have one shiitake block. This is a shiitake block, and it is covered with shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms are super gourmet and highly medicinal. And as far as I know, I am the only shiitake grower on the Hawaiian Islands. It's very tasty, very yummy, and they can be pretty easy to grow. They grow off of sawdust blocks, and also they can grow off of they grow off of logs. I got Mark over here picking up my mess. Thanks, Mark.
Because we will use those.
And so now I'm going to show you how I make sawdust blocks. Do you, Vince, do you want to take this and maybe do some trimming for Mark? And I'll take it from here with my video. All right, everybody. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a quick video on how I do my my mushroom production. All right. Can we see this?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's see. Well, is this being shared?
Not yet.
Let's see, share screen. And okay, sharing screen. And is this video being shared? No?
Not yet.
Well, that's not useful. Well, let's try, let's switch gears. I've got another video to show you.
Irene, is your screen done? Did you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, I did stop. Yeah.
Did you stop sharing your screen?
I stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, now it works.
All right, we can see that. Okay. How about this? Can you see this video?
Yes.
All right, so here we are in, this is Marley. Marley's my helper. And my lab is currently located at Pono Grown. And I start with oak and soybean hulls, wheat bran, and rice bran pellets. And I keep the rice bran, soybean hulls, and wheat bran out of this box. Otherwise, I don't want to encourage any sort of mice or anything. A pelletized substrate is pretty easy for me to work with, allows me to quickly gather things and blend them. But ideally, I'd be using more substrates that are gathered from the local environment. And there are lots of grants for Hawaii farmers for waste stream remediation. So we're in the process of applying for that so that we can incorporate more local waste streams. So right here, this is my lovely, lovely hopper. That color, in case you're wondering, is Emerald City Green, Emerald City from The Wizard of Oz. I built this thingamajig. It's a pneumatically driven dry bagger based off of Eric Meyer's design from Meyer's Mushrooms. Shout out to Meyer's Mushrooms. It's pneumatic, so it's driven by air pressure, bottled and channeled to drive these knife blades to open and shut. And Marley is going to show us how it is operated. Basically, you just press a foot pedal and things fall down in pre-measured quantities. It's super easy to operate. You just turn on the air, you turn on the water flow, and then you press the foot pedal, and then out comes pre-measured 10-pound blocks. Here she is pressing the foot pedal, and one block is full. The pellets have to rehydrate, and they soak up the water, and then you load them inside the cooker. But you're able to very quickly produce the blocks. I really like this system because we're able to, at least on this portion of the production, it takes about 15 seconds to produce each and every block pre-loading into the cooker. The unit economics of mushroom production, the rate limiters are like human energy, how much time it takes to handle every little thing. Like say here, Marley is folding these bags. The bags have to be folded just so that we can minimize contamination. So what she's doing is she's carefully folding the bag so that the seams of the bag sit together very well, and that prevents contaminants from migrating in after the cooking occurs. And so now we're fast forwarding just to show you how fast and how much like every little motion takes. We want smooth, round, perfectly shaped bread loaf, square shaped bags. Marley is an expert. She has great bag dexterity. I'm super grateful to have the help that I do on in my little operation. It's very time consuming to do hundreds and hundreds of these bags a week. And so I'm really grateful that, growing mushrooms is actually lucrative enough that I can pay people a good wage to do this work, and it allows them to have, the lives that they want. And I don't have to be doing the really repetitive, boring stuff such as folding bags. I mean, the chef doesn't chop lettuce, does he, Mark?
The chef does chop lettuce.
The chef does chop lettuce?
Yeah. The chef must chop the lettuce.
Mark,
The lettuce is not going to chop itself.
Chef Mark says the lettuce is not going to chop itself, but
Be able to work in the trench.
more on that later. So Marley's here folding bags. She's doing a great job of it. And now here we have like a beautiful, well-folded bag. So we want all of our bags to look like this so that when we stack them inside of the cooker, they all fit inside it. So each one of these cookers, these 110-gallon stainless steel cookers, can hold 60 bags. I have 3 of these 110-gallon stainless steel cookers. So that means I can do 180 bags per cycle, 1 cycle per day. So it's 180 blocks per day, which, with some time off, allows us to do around 1,000 blocks per week. Each one of these blocks can produce about 2 pounds of shiitake mushrooms, 3 pounds of standard oysters, 2.5 pounds of black pearl oyster mushrooms, 3 pounds of lion's mane, or 1.5 to 2 pounds of maitake. So once Marley has loaded in the last few of these bags, she places the insulated stainless steel lid on top, places she scoops it back. There's about 600 pounds of bags in there. This is no small feat, scooting this thing around. And she places in the temperature controller. Great job, Marley. And then we're going to drop the curtain. This prevents steam from escaping into the rest of the fruiting chamber and the rest of the lab. So when each one of those cookers generates 3,000 watts of heat and steam, and we want it to go up that duct and channel out so it doesn't evacuate into the rest of the lab, causing damage to all my lovely equipment. And this is a PID controlled temperature controller. Each one of the cookers has one of these. And here we are in the lab after everything's been cooked. This is the stuff that I have to do. Right over there, that handsome guy in the background with the Metallica Beavis and Butthead t-shirt, that would be Rich, my business partner, also known as Handsome Rich. So what we're doing here is we're opening up the sawdust blocks in front of the laminar flow hood. We're wearing our masks to prevent contamination from going out and getting into the bags. I'm applying the spawn, and using clean, sterile technique, we're sealing each bag, and each bag is being labeled. We check the seal to make sure the seal is perfect and intact. And then the bag is tumbled. The substrate is mixed with the spawn. The bags, which are inoculated, are placed inside of the bin. And then from the bins, they're put on the shelves. And from the shelves, they go into the fruiting chamber. And from the fruiting chamber, they get picked and then they go onto your plate. So that was, that is how I produce my sawdust blocks. Now I'm going to show you how you can grow mushrooms at home. Go, Uncle Charles, go. This is me. All right. Actually, you know what? This is the really long presentation. We don't have time for that. So I am going to show you the speed round one. I'm going to show you how to make King Stropharia wine cap mushrooms. Let's see. And we're sharing my screen. All right, everybody. I'm going to show you how to grow wine cap mushrooms. So wine cap mushrooms, also known as King Stropharia mushrooms, the garden giant, is a delicious, wonderful mushroom that has a rich, like red wine and potato flavor to it. And anyone can grow at home off of fresh hardwood wood chips. I've grown these off of albizia. I've grown these off of mango wood. I've grown these off of Eucalyptus robusta. They will grow off of pretty much any non-resinous, non-super aromatic, just any hardwood that doesn't stink when you cut it, that doesn't produce any resin. You can get the spawn from me, or you can get it from North Spore. I only produce it seasonally in small batches from time to time, but you can get it from North Spore. You do need to get your Hawaii Department of Agriculture non-native species import permit, but I can provide links on that later inside the chat thread. So wine cap, very easy, grows off of wood chips, also grows off of straw. It's a very fast producing strain. It grows on the ground. It provides a really lovely ground cover, prevents weeds from growing up, and it's a great companion mushroom for planting other things when you want to suppress weeds underneath it. It's anti-nematodal. It's great for capturing nutrients for plants, for breaking down woody matter, and it keeps predatory insects away, keeps beneficial insects nearby. It grows off of wood chips. It grows off of clean straw. You just need to keep it watered. If it dries out, it doesn't grow, but it goes in kind of a dormant state. It'll rejuvenate every year. You want to start with, if you're using wood chips, you want to start with fresh wood chips that being chipped just that day or a couple days before. I love the North Spore King Stropharia patches because, I mean, they always have them in stock. So the tools you're going to need: shovel, a rake, and cardboard for weed suppression. You want to remove all the tape off of the cardboard so that it's not decomposing. You're not adding plastics into your yard. Find a nice spot. You want it to be partial shade, if not complete shade, but partial shade is best. Cover it with cardboard. And this would be ideally in an area where you're going to be able to water regularly or that gets regular rain. This is Uncle Harold. He's doing all the heavy lifting, all the hard work. You know, I'm just trying to keep Harold, you know, busy. He's retired, and I think it's important to, you know, put our, you know, our friends and family to work on projects that I don't want to do. So he's scattering the wood chips around evenly over the cardboard. We try to do it so it's, you know, maybe about 3 to 5 inches in depth. Here he is breaking up the sawdust block. We want to get as small chunks as possible, but just small enough so that we can crumble. Shout out to North Spore. And now we're distributing the sawdust evenly over the top. Once we have it evenly distributed over the top, we will rake it in and include it into the into the wood chip pile. And you just want to crumble it as fine as possible. The smaller the particles you can get, the more inoculation points you have, the faster it colonizes. So break it up to as small parts as possible. Here he is raking it in. You want to get it to work all the way through the full 3 to 5 inches of chips. And you hydrate. You want to give it a good soaking immediately after you first inoculate it. And then after that, just make sure it doesn't dry out. You know, the top can get dry, but you know, reach down inside of there periodically and make sure that the bottom layer of wood chips is a little hydrated. Now 2 months later, look at that, King Stropharia, delicious potato, red wine, King Stropharia. Look at that. That is that fluffy white mycelium inside of it. That's what you want to see. Yes, sir. Mycelium, M-Y-C-E-L-I-U-M, mycelium. That's the good stuff. That is the actual body of the fungus, and the fruit body is the mushroom. And if you want to propagate this, you just take a shovelful of the mycelium rich, mycelium, M-Y-C-E-L-I-U-M, the mycelium rich wood chips. And oh, look at this guy. Oh my goodness. So that's what the fruit bodies will look like when they're fully formed. Gosh, why did I ever let my hair get that long? Okay, enough of that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, everybody. How much time do we have?
We're going to start cooking.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much.
You turn your volume down, Charles.
Uh,
How about that?
Cool. Okay, everybody. That was amazing, Charles.
Charles is my new best friend.
I tell you, man. Thank you so much. And guess who's on tonight, Charles? Ben Lillybridge, our next week, Monday, the presenter is here tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a participant. Aloha, Ben.
Aloha, Ben.
I'm glad you're here, brother. Thanks to Charles. We have Ben going to be presenting. He's from Malama Mushroom and another brilliant presenter. So we're really excited to have him for next week. And right now, as I walk over to the kitchen here, is Chef Marc McDowell, 62 Market there in beautiful downtown Wailuku. So happy Marc is here tonight. And, you know, we have Marc and I, he comes in like 5:30 in the morning to our farm to pick up his greens. Tomorrow morning we'll be over there early. And so we really appreciate him loving our greens. And he even brought some tonight. I feel so ashamed that I didn't bring them. He brought them though. And so he's going to,
It's all about relationships.
that's right on, brother.
Relationships with Vincent, relationships with Charles. Charles will be providing all the shiitakes, all the wonderful, wonderful black oyster mushrooms. He's not even paying attention. So we're
Yes, he's
we're getting
looking,
this
he's looking
deal
at us talking. And then we have Mark's beautiful wife, Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne.
You want to give Charles the contract so he can sign it when he's still not paying attention.
Okay, so we're going to come back into the kitchen here.
All right, everyone. A chef loves mushrooms. It's one of those things that you can use it in so many different ways. some for a vehicle for flavor, some for texture, some for just elegance. There's a couple different mushrooms I brought tonight. There's a morel. It's a French mushroom. This is obviously dry, but when they're fresh, they're wonderful. Now, if you're growing them, Charles probably can tell you more about where you can get them. I think Oregon,
They
but
grow here.
do they grow here?
Yeah, you can find them at Poly Poly sometimes.
Okay, so
Wow.
that's fantastic because they're much better, much more fragrant. But most chefs have to spend $200 a pound to get dried mushrooms. And so you would have to rehydrate them. You would use the liquid that comes off that, the Croissant, from that, strain it because it's full of sand, and then use that. We are going to do some stuff with shiitakes. Now, Charles has the fresh shiitake here. We are going to use that. We're also going to make some dried shiitake powder. Before I do that, I want to hydrate this. This is a ear mushrooms. Okay, so hot water, and we want to hydrate this with wood ear. Whatever you're going to soak, you have to use that today, okay? Because it's not going to be something you're going to want to use later. They sometimes come in these little block form, which is nice, yeah? That is going to hydrate up into a big massive mushroom. This is
That little block.
That little block.
All right.
This is the dried shiitakes. We're going to take a little of that and blend it in a spice grinder and a coffee grinder to make powder. We use that for umami, it's a natural MSG, okay? So with this, we're going to create a croissant. Croissant is just a flavored liquid that we're going to get from this rehydrating of this mushroom. We're going to use this croissant to use in our slurry. Our slurry is a cornstarch slurry that we're going to make a little Chinese lumpia, Chinese spring roll. Filipinos call it lumpia, Chinese call it spring roll. And the reason they call it spring roll is they use it in their Chinese New Year. Spring coming soon, that's what they do. And they're going to do it, okay? So let's put this in a spice grinder. Dried, turned into powder, okay? That we're going to use to pour into our product. This is a beautiful black pearl oyster mushroom
That is
grown
beautiful.
by Charles,
Yep.
okay? So
Still screaming from being cut.
exactly. So with these, what we do is we're going to cut off most of the stem, okay? The stem, the chefs will use for making their stock, okay? So with this, I want to show you, typically we'll tear it into little strips, all right? Instead of chop it, we'll tear it in these strips.
It's beautiful, Mark, what you're seeing here, the bottom of the mushroom. Irene does a great artistic rendition of that. Charles?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
She
Irene
really
Absolutely.
captures the gills.
captures the gills, right?
Like
Makes it look so beautiful, so
the-
yummy.
the mushroom, and just listening to Irene and Charles re-enthused me about how much I am excited about mushrooms.
Yeah, right on.
You know,
Yep.
you have so many ingredients as a chef, and when you can be around people that actually grow the things, that's so much better. Because without the people, the farmer, without Vincent and his sprouts, I can't make it happen. I need those people to perpetuate the arts.
Well, you've always been a great supporter of local agriculture, Mark, ever since I met you back in the day of the Maui Prince when you were head chef over there. And it's really great to see that you have your own restaurant there in Wailuku. You're right next to the Yale Theater, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
we're open every day except for Saturday. We open up for breakfast and lunch only. That's why I wake up at 4 a.m. to get over to your house by 5:30,
Right on.
to get over into the kitchen by 6.
Right.
Okay, so these shiitakes that Charles just provided. Ooh,
It's amazing. All these years of being a chef, you still have all your fingers.
yeah, all 4 of them. Okay, so we're going to use the fresh shiitake, the fresh oyster, the rehydrated black fungus, the rehydrated shiitake for the croissant. and some Napa cabbage and your sunflower
All right.
sprouts, yeah? Okay, so this is just Napa cabbage. The thing about this recipe is you can get as creative as you want with it. The great part is that this is showing you how easy it is to create some great flavor. It's celebrating the mushroom, and that's what we're doing. We're celebrating the mushroom.
Yes. Can you guys see this full screen? It doesn't look like it, Charles. I think you need to. I need to get your screen.
Okay,
How
so I'm
do we
gonna
do
turn
this?
this on
Logo
higher.
screen.
Yeah, maybe shut your video off so we can get back to full screen here. Let me see. I'm trying to get this onto full screen. Sorry, folks, little technical issue here.
So I'm gonna use this, so cornstarch, I'm gonna use all,
Let's see, there we go.
I'm using the juice that I soaked the mushroom, yeah? Now these mushrooms have softened up, so we're gonna use the juice instead of using water for the slurry, okay? And then I'm gonna chop these up just a little bit. It's not normal that you're working in a kitchen that has somebody that just grew the shiitakes. And since
Yes,
that's happening, that is a special thing.
that is a special thing. Right on.
Okay,
It's a beautiful shiitake block, huh?
yeah, that's phenomenal. Okay, so let's get the pan. He also has a beautiful kitchen. Okay, a little oil. I have a fry later set up over here with oil that's about 350 degrees.
Whoa. Would I be better on the other side? Let's see here.
That's gonna be all up to you. Okay, so hot pan, cold oil. A little bit of salt. This is a total vegan preparation. There's no meat in this one. We're gonna turn that even higher. And you'll notice with mushrooms, some suck up a lot of oil. Yeah, so when we use them in the kitchen for making sauce, we'll make a reduction with white wine, red wines. Usually our shiitake will go with white wine, Morel's white wine, Portobello's red wine. Okay, so those are cooking down. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Smell good.
They smell great.
Okay. Now you can put anything in here. You can put ginger, you can put garlic, any of these things. I just want to show you the basic one and how tasty it is with just the basics. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. But when you have mushrooms that
How do you get that move? That flipping move?
I'm trying to be nice so I don't make a gigantic mess for Charles.
You get that great flipping move. I haven't quite gotten that down yet at home. Look at that. There you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on even higher. I think that's as high as that goes. Okay.
Wow. So you got the Napa
Napa
cabbage. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna cook that down a little bit, and then we're gonna put in the secret, the second secret of the night that those mushrooms love, which is the sunflower stuff, so suns.
Wow. I was wondering what I was going to have for dinner.
Right?
Here we are. Irene, you should be here for dinner. Can you get on a Trans America.
I wish.
Irene, these are calling
I
your
wish
name.
with all my heart.
These are calling your name. And then, look at those sprouts.
Whoa, microgreens,
Now you
baby.
can use bean sprouts, you can use any of those things, but I wanted to show you when you have a friend like Vincent and Irina, you have beautiful sunflower sprouts. You have beautiful daikon sprouts
Oh, yes. Well, the daikon be nice.
that we love to use. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. I'm still hungry.
Okay, so what most people say is, you know, it's just all vegetable, it's no meat. What's going to happen is it's going to be too wet for a lumpia. And then when you fry it, it's just going to be full of juice and it's going to pop. What I'd say is that's why we have the dried shiitake powder to add to it. And also we're going to put this slurry in.
So now you're adding the dry shiitake powder.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And then you got the slurry from, what did you make that with?
That was the juice from soaking the dried shiitake
Okay,
and corn starch.
okay.
Just those two things. So we're gonna let that cook just a bit.
Now, are you making this lumpia at 62 Market?
Yes,
Oh, wonderful.
because we get a lot of vegan people,
Right?
and before it was hard to satisfy them if we don't have vegan items. So
Absolutely.
we decided to keep this one as a vegan item. If you don't have something for everyone, they're gonna find a place to spend their money. That's
right.
not your place.
That's right.
If we can have good service, we can have good food, we can have a clean environment. And the bill, the experience they had was far more valuable than the numbers on the bill, then they'll be back.
Well, you know, Mark, I've known you a long time and you've been a big supporter of local agriculture, and the fact that you have a restaurant that's a local haunt and yet has your culinary flair to it, is a real plus for my local. Really fortunate.
Well, I appreciate that. Okay, so there you go. Okay,
Beautiful.
I'm gonna turn that off.
That didn't take very long to cook.
No.
People wondering about what to cook for dinner. I mean, that's pretty quick.
No, so the thing is, you can put anything you want in there, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Now, if you don't want to put slurry, you don't have to put slurry, but it's a great thing.
It's kind of
Okay,
bonds it
so-
all together.
This bowl right here, Vincent, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna grab that. No, honey, I'm gonna go right behind you and do that, because this area is a little bit messy. See, and the deal with chefs is, Charles, yes, you chop the lettuce. You better chop the lettuce. If you don't know how to do every step in your kitchen, somebody's gonna ultimately call in sick. And if you don't know those steps yourself, well, then, my friend, you're gonna be, they say SOL, because you need to have the ability to perform everything. So we want this at about 350. I didn't want to burn the house down, so I turned it down a bit. We're gonna crank it up just a little bit. Okay, so these are lumpia wrappers. Okay, spring roll wrappers.
Okay, where do you get those from?
It's usually in the freezer section of that aisle. You don't usually go down in an Asian
Oh,
market. Yeah.
Okay,
Those Asian markets, people usually stay away from. They're scared of them. Okay,
well, these are big wraps. These are great. Look at that.
so a little bit of
Oh man, I
product.
could see some of that hot Chinese mustard. Yeah, Yvonne, on the bottom of that wrap.
Oh, now you're taking the recipe to another level. Okay,
Okay.
so a little diamond shape, stuff down at the bottom end of it, wrap it tight, bring this end in, do it so it is perpendicular, going straight up. Do this one, cross it,
Beautiful.
and voila. Now, usually my first one is really, really poor, and it'll get better.
That looks good.
That,
So I should probably test these to make sure they're not, everybody will be okay after eating them, right?
yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have to test a few, okay? And I want you guys to be able to roll them too. Okay.
Rock and roll, baby, rock and roll.
Now, some people, because they've been probably rolling things their
We
whole
gotta
life, they're
yeah.
probably really good at rolling. I never
That's
was
right.
good at rolling anything, so
Yeah, we got some stoners on here.
we
that-
definitely, that is definitely a trait that is going to be good to be able to utilize.
We gotta mail some of these to Irene.
Irene's going to come to Maui
Oh, okay, good.
and come to eat with us
There you go.
and celebrate the mushroom once again,
That's great.
because there is no really time to celebrate mushrooms all year long,
Right.
and you want to be able to celebrate all year
Well,
long.
we want Irene to be on next week. We want her to tune in next week when Ben is from Malama Mushroom, because he's going to show everybody where he's gathering all his mushrooms here in Hawaii. And yeah, this is going to be great.
Okay, so
It's amazing.
I don't think there's anything I've done is something that everybody in the world can't do.
Now, what are you painting on there, Walter?
That's just water, but you can use egg if you want.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to keep this 100% vegan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The only thing is the egg will probably stick better than water,
Oh, right. That's right.
but you know,
Well, they look delightful.
and then we're gonna fry them, and then we're gonna do some Q&A.
Oh, I see. We're still
We're gonna
one more
do-
step
we're
away
gonna
with frying.
Do some
Okay.
Q&A. Well, yeah,
Okay.
we don't have to fry them, but
No, I mean, this is good. Yeah,
if you want to go from start to finish,
that's right.
you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, people say, why do you take so long to wrap them? If the chef was there yelling at us, we'd be even faster.
Yeah.
Be able to do it and do other things as well at the same time. Okay, so check your temperature. Now, if you don't have a thermometer like this, you can have a chopsticks. And if you put your chopstick in and it's kind of bubbling, the Chinese and Japanese always say it's ready. Okay. But I think
319. You look pretty good there. Huh?
320, 322. Yeah, this is probably going to be fine. Okay.
Cool.
So push them away from you. Don't just drop them in, but push them away.
Mhm.
Okay. The higher it is, obviously, the faster it's going to go. If it's going like crazy, you're probably going to boil it and the oil is going to come off the edge and start your house on fire. Not going to be a good look, especially for us. Charles was nice enough to let us come up here. We don't want to burn his house down.
So how long usually
Now, remember, restaurant, we have a fry later that's already set 350, 375. There's no rhyme or reason. We put them in
right.
and draw them up and it'll be done.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn it up just for the sake of us being right here. Your
Okay.
mom's gonna wrap a couple more. She's fast at it.
She's got it. She's got that in her DNA.
She's
You know?
Chinese, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
built in.
Yeah.
Now, people always say, what kind of sauce are you gonna have? You're gonna have some sweet and sour sauce. We're celebrating the mushroom, right?
Celebrating the
Why
mushroom.
would we want to cover it up with a sweet and sour sauce?
Why not?
Right, right,
That's right.
right. If you're in love with sweet and sour sauce, by all means, sweet and sour sauce it is. But if you want to taste the beauty of the mushroom, all your hard work, Charles, is labored.
So I know we're going to have some questions, and we can get to that in a few minutes.
Yeah, we could actually start answering questions now if you want to.
Okay,
Give them
let me
a
see.
out and give them a shot on the final.
So where's our chat? Since I'm working from the iPad, folks, it's a little different configuration
Okay.
than my desktop. Here's a chat. Can it grow in Hawaii warm temperatures? Absolutely. Charles says absolutely. Does great in warm weather? I'm pretty sure Charles answered that. Irene, I want to immediately start growing all these fungi. Thanks for the cool presentation. Irene, you're the one that helped make this a cool presentation tonight. So thank you. Does there anybody else have any questions? For Chef or for Charles or for Irene, please, now's the time to jump in. We're running 2 minutes over, but I think if anybody wants to stay on, please do. You're welcome, Barbara. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be eating soon.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see here.
You're gonna eat in Lumpia? Well, we gotta call them,
Chinese spring roll.
yeah, we better call them Chinese spring roll.
Yes.
How many lumpia are we gonna have?
We can have many. Of course you can.
Anybody else have any questions? Put them in the chat, please. For any of the presentations tonight. Anything that we've shared tonight. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you. Ben, are you there? Are you still in the room? Next week's presenter, Ben Lillybridge, is going to be here presenting. Next week, Monday. Tomorrow night, we have Gail Baber. She's going to be presenting tomorrow night on hemp economics and the rules with a panel. She's going to moderate a panel. So Gail, we'll see you tomorrow night at 6. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Gail.
Gail and her husband Cab grow hemp on the Big Island, and Cab's going to be presenting on Bokashi next week, Wednesday. This week, Wednesday, we have Drake Weiner for Korean natural farming. So we have some really wonderful presentations for you all. Doug Fine will be next week with hemp. Next Tuesday, we'll have a panel on hemp, regenerative agriculture and hemp. So some really great presentations lined up for folks. And if anybody's got, let me see if there's a question just came in. What times are your restaurant open, Mark?
Okay, so we are only closed on Saturday, Monday through Friday, 8 to 2, Sunday, 9 to 1.
Okay, there you go. And I know we've enjoyed many a meal there. We love patronizing the chefs who gather our products.
Well, it's always about relationships,
That's right on,
strong
brother.
relationships.
That's right on, man.
So.
Oh,
final
look how
product is-
beautiful, nice and brown there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You can
beautiful.
put anything inside there, but if we're celebrating mushroom, we got to go with mushroom.
Mushroom, that's right.
And the shiitake is such a strong Asian flavor. It's made for the spring roll. It's perfect, yeah. And
Charles, you did a
think
great job
you are
growing them.
growing the shiitake.
Yeah, man, you don't know.
In Hawaii.
Only one in Hawaii.
Only
Right.
one.
There you
The
go.
only one.
And that's
You
my
always
favorite.
Remember the first.
Shiitake is my favorite.
Yeah.
Take a look at these. Beautiful shiitake mushrooms. The only one growing shiitake mushrooms in Hawaii.
Look at that. And
That's
you said you
fantastic.
get about 2 pounds a block.
2 pounds off of each one of those blocks. Takes about 3 minutes of total hands-on time. Produce one block and about $3 in materials, electricity, labor, turn around one block. So with the feeding chamber that we're building outside, hopefully we'll be bringing, 500 or 600 pounds a week by June.
Wow. That's awesome, man. And what is the price per pound people are paying for fresh shiitake?
Right now,
Yeah.
Oh, they can be like 10 or 11 bucks.
it's
Wow.
so much.
Yeah,
Wow.
the same with oysters. I saw oyster at like Foodlands, for 10 a pound.
So much.
Also, like IGD and
Mhm.
Grocery Depot, it's horrible.
Are they mainland mushrooms coming in?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, they're not even local. So, I mean,
And so, like, local
Charles,
oysters, like you're paying like $13, $14 a pound. But it's like, man, the demand is like there's so much demand that like, we could produce it and sell it for less than that and then still make a very good living and like pay employees like a really good living wage.
Isn't that great?
That's the goal. is
So
like-
you're going to set up all these mushroom farms?
that's-
right.
That's
That would
the
be-
goal.
You're the consultant extraordinaire, man. You're
Check
laying
out-
the groundwork.
Check out Lapa'au Farm,
Yeah.
Milkwood mushrooms, mother mushrooms,
Malama mushroom.
Haleakua. Yes, indeed.
So, we're going to have Lapa'au Farm as far as our convention. That's going to be featured. One of our farms is going to be featured for our convention.
It's amazing what they've been able to do over there. Like,
Yeah.
such a small profile, such a highly efficient way of cultivating food in just such a small space. The systems that Michael and Lauren Marchand have set up on that property, it's amazing. And it's like a testament to like what hard work and innovation and like thinking outside of the box, but then also looking at a cost per unit like basis of farming, like what's profitable versus what grows really well.
That's right.
And like balancing it out. And then just because there's no demand for something right now, if you stoke the flame of desire inside
Create the
of
demand.
you create the demand. But then some things people are never going to want to buy, even if it grows really, really well. So
Right.
like the economics of how they balanced and grown their farm is just
Yeah, we get a box of food from them and it's just unreal, the food, just
No, it's
delicious.
it's artistic.
it's
Yeah.
the best.
It's
Yeah.
totally artisanal.
It's the
That's
best. But
right.
the property is so beautiful.
Yes.
So
But
beautiful.
I
Well,
think
that's
that
where
goes
we
hand
held-
in hand, because they take such a great care of their farm and
Yes.
they're very proud of it.
Yes.
I think that's part of their brand, and everything they bring forth is phenomenal.
That farm used to be Steve Wilson's. He was leasing from Sam Bessel, and it was Kumalani Farm. And we held 7 of our 13 body and soil conferences
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah. So that farm has some good memories for me and Irene. Let's see
So
here.
you can see that since Yvonne is actually Chinese and I'm not, I tend to make mine a little bit thinner.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh, yeah. Look at Irene's. They're beefy.
yeah,
Right on, Irene. Oh, I mean, Yvonne. Yvonne's doing that, not Irene.
Just trying to
she's
make
utilizing,
the most of the
she's
material.
utilizing,
right.
she's utilizing all the products.
That's right.
Because we can make 30 little ones, or you can make 15 big ones.
Right.
So,
Wow, this is great. So everybody, can you taste these? Can you?
okay,
I mean,
so,
you can see right
yeah.
now how good these are going to
so
be.
let's do this. Let's take one of these, because you put something that came out of the fryer in your mouth, and after
Oh,
it hasn't
burn the
cooled,
mouth.
yeah, it will scald you.
It's like eating pizza right out of the oven, right?
It's a scalding.
Yeah.
So you hear crunchy, yeah,
Mhm.
and you see beautiful.
Look at
Okay,
that. Look
see
at
all that.
Yeah.
It's still very, very hot, which is a good thing, because you can make them and take them somewhere. Obviously vent it, because they will get soggy. You want to keep something from the fryer crunchy. See, in the restaurant, you have fryer baskets. You put them in the bottom one, you put another basket on top. It holds it under the oil for you,
Right.
so you don't have to babysit it.
Irene, can you jump in here, please? Do you have anything you want to share? What you're seeing and what this feels like to you?
Well, I'm really hungry. I didn't have breakfast also, so
Oh,
I'm looking at this and it feels good. It's almost like I'm there.
Oh, right on. Well, we feel you there.
yeah, well, we
We
do feel you.
appreciate you there. And, it's snowing right now where Irene is in Russia.
Oh, my God.
Yes. And, check out Irene's artwork. Irene, did you put up on the screen your Instagram and Facebook? And can you do that again, please?
I did. Shall I? I will just leave it in the chat then. My
Okay,
data, yeah?
that's good. Yes, please do all that, because I really like following you on social media. You're always
I
coming up
share
with some
lots of
really
things
great.
there.
Yes, good. Thank you.
Yeah, anyone can check us out at 62market.com.
Okay.
Market is not M-A-R-K-E-T, although it is on 62 Market Street. My name is Mark, M-A-R-C. So we did a little play on words,
Yes,
MRCKET.com, spelled out 62.
there you go. And that's right next to EL Theater.
Exactly.
And Charles, so you're kind of like the mushroom mentor here on the island.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see all the infrastructure you're putting in to really raise the awareness around mushrooms. I know in my position on the Board of Agriculture, we've worked together to bring restricted mushrooms off the restricted list so we can then have them grown here in Hawaii and not be importing them, right?
Yeah, I mean, we should clarify that the levels of restriction through the Hawaii Department of Agriculture, like they restrict anything that isn't approved. So the only things that we really want to bring in are non-invasive, non-parasitic fungi that aren't even listed. And then we want to get, and then we want to get some of the parasitic fungi which are actually being imported, actually to be listed and restricted. We want to update the Hawaii Department of Agriculture's list of non-native species. So
Great.
particularly, we want to list reishi mushroom, which grows all over the island.
Oh, reishi does.
Yes, it grows.
Wow.
So it came in on,
And what a medicinal mushroom that is.
super
Huh?
medicinal, non-parasitic, highly medicinal mushroom that, I go out and I go pick it, inside of the Makawao Forest Reserve like 4 or 5 times a year, including inside of
Wow.
my own medicine.
Take me one of these times,
Yeah.
will you? I want to see
Lion's
that.
mane mushroom. We want to get that approved. That's not even.
It isn't.
But you can buy imported lines. But like I want it to be so that local mushroom farmers can produce it and not have to worry about the Hawaii Department of Agriculture. I want to broaden the list of oyster mushrooms that are on the list. Like there are natural growing varieties that have been growing here for generations that just aren't addressed. And a lot of that work is actually being addressed by Ben Lillybridge of Malama Mushrooms,
Right
or
on.
the Hawaiian Microflora Project. So
Beautiful.
if you guys want to support that, go out and take samples, submit them to the Hawaiian Microflora Project. We want to get as much evidence in that that the mushrooms that are here, so that we can update the list. We want to also get the support of different biologists to show that the gourmet and medicinal mushrooms that we want to have approved are non-parasitic, non-invasive, and totally beneficial, so that we can actually bring in the commercial cultivars and actually start producing our own food, our own medicine here without having to depend on mainland mushrooms being brought in.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. That's very educational. That was excellent. Thank you so much, Charles. How about chaga? Can that be grown here?
What is chaga? Oh, chaga?
Chaga. I'm sorry.
Chaga needs to grow. Chaga grows off of beech.
Oh,
mushrooms,
okay.
beech, which is
Beechwood.
beech wood, and I'm pretty sure beechwood. There aren't any beechwood trees
Right.
here on island, but there's so many varieties of other medicinal mushrooms that are less well known, but people haven't gone out and cataloged them or tested them for medicinal value. But there's things like beech
Right.
wood. There's things like chaga that grow out here that are super, super highly medicinal, and that can be incorporated inside of people's diets. Like
Great.
turkey tail.
Yes,
grows-
turkey tail here.
grows so abundantly. here on the
Wow.
island. Oh, absolutely.
Far out.
And super medicinal. Chicken of the woods
Right.
is super medicinal, and it grows everywhere, particularly on the eucalyptus trees.
Cool.
Super highly medicinal. So
Cool.
why should we bring in this type of mushroom that only grows off of one particular tree, which it would be invasive here, when we've got plenty of other things to draw from?
That's right.
So let's raise awareness for the gourmet, the medicinal mushrooms that are already growing here, and then and get approval for the ones that we're already importing, that we already have so much demand.
That's right.
for.
And so, Karen, thank you for putting 62 Markets website up here
Thank you.
on the chat. And then Irene put up her social media and Facebook, Etsy, YouTube. So Irene, could you show your t-shirts that you did? Can you show a picture of your t-shirts? They're amazing t-shirts. We have to
Good.
find a way to get them here.
Let me just find it.
Wow, look at these guys. Are
Second.
busy. Wow.
That's phenomenal, huh?
Yvonne and Mark have made dinner for us. Look at that. How beautiful. Thank you so much. Hey, all right. Hi, David.
David, you want to be our official first taste tester?
It's gonna be very hot, David.
All right. Yes. Can you capture this moment?
Yeah, wait a second. Irene's got her screen share. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Go ahead, David. All right, the first taste test.
Like
Yeah,
this kind of stuff,
You haven't
or
made him to say anything.
All
so-
right, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Very good, he said. Awesome. And look at this beautiful T-shirt that Irene created.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that beautiful?
David, do you think?
there are much more.
Oh, wow.
That's her illustration work.
That's really good.
Really nice. So how can we get these, Irene? How can we get these in?
Yeah, I left the address of my Etsy shop in the chat,
Your-
so
Your Etsy shop.
I have
okay?
like a great variety of mushroom t-shirts and even mushroom swimsuit. So whatever.
That's
got-
right. I saw your mushroom swimsuit.
got-
Yeah,
A lot
Yeah,
of
you-
stuff. Yeah.
very
So
cool. Very
Feel free
cool.
to check this out.
Yeah, she's got on her social media. She models it too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, we're gonna close down shop, I think, tonight, so we could eat all this wonderful food. Yvonne, thank you so much for rocking and rolling those lumpias. And Charles, right on, brother. All your information tonight was just incredible. Really appreciate the information and also
Thank you,
your
Vincent.
practices of growing. Look at that block is all trimmed out. You trimmed that whole block up. Look at that. And Mark, what can I say, my brother?
All
Chef
we could say
extraordinaire.
is Friends for life. Vincent.
Yeah, brother, that's right.
And now we got a new friend too, Charles.
Yes. Look at that. Brothers of a different mother.
Right?
Irene, we love you. You take good
It was
care.
amazing. It was amazing. Thank you for inviting me.
Aloha, Hawaii
It was
farmers.
amazing to meet you guys.
Right on. Yes. Thank you. Remember, everybody, support Hawaii Farmers Union United. Make sure you sign up for our convention. It's going to be free, but just donations. And so give as you
Keep it
feel you
alive,
can.
keep it alive.
That's right. So aloha, everybody.
Aloha.
Yee-hee.